What if I told you a city can feel calm and chaotic at the same time? That you can walk for hours, eat a full meal for $2, and still feel like you have only scratched the surface? That city is Bangkok. I arrived thinking I knew what a big city felt like. I had walked New York. I had crossed busy streets in Asia before. But Bangkok moved to a different rhythm. Faster, warmer, louder, and somehow softer too. This was my first time in Thailand. I traveled alone, with no plans beyond walking, eating, and seeing what pulled me in. 14 days sounds long, but in Bangkok, time stretches and slips at the same time. In this episode, I take you with me through temples covered in gold, quiet homes hidden behind trees, night streets filled with food smoke, and riverboats that cut through the noise. I talk about what it costs to move around, what things are really worth seeing, and how it feels to explore, mostly on foot. If you have ever wondered what Bangkok is really like beyond photos and guides, or if you are thinking about going on your first solo trip there, this episode is for you. Let's walk into the heat, the noise, and the heart of Bangkok together. Bangkok, an overview of a city that never stops. I have already visited crowded cities. Cities such as Manila, Mexico City, and New York. I believed I understood the sensation of noise, but Bangkok proved me wrong. The air was warm and dense as soon as I left the airport. It wrapped me like a blanket. Next were the smells. The street food, the car fumes. The delicious fruit, of something fried, of something hot, and all at once. I spent 14 days here by myself. Bangkok was both familiar and unfamiliar. There were wires hanging low across the streets and scooters everywhere, just like in places of Asia I had previously visited. However, compared to places like Hanoi, it also felt more tranquil, more organized than certain regions of India, and far more modern than I had anticipated. I explored on foot most days. Bangkok is vast, so it's great to take your time exploring different parts of the city. At first, I remained close to Sukhumvit. I was reminded of some areas of Tokyo. Walkways that are clean with tall structures and chilly air within shopping centers. However, the city transformed just a single block away with little food booths and plastic chairs. Locals are eating fast food and moving on. I sometimes got lost, and often that was the best part of my day. Wat Phra Kaew and the Grand Palace. The Grand Palace was one of my first major destinations. This is the most well-known location in Bangkok. The admission fee was approximately $15, and it seemed reasonable given what you saw. Gold buildings with roofs that are sharp and walls that are detailed and colorful. It was more elegant than the temples I had seen in Cambodia and more formal. The Emerald Buddha, in Wat Phra Kaew, is situated inside. I paid $10 for a guided tour, which was really informative. I would have missed half of the stories without it. The guide explained rules, colors, and symbols. Take off your shoes, arms covered, and always be respectful. The reclining Buddha and Wat Pho. Wat Pho is just a short stroll away. It cost roughly $6 for a ticket. The reclining Buddha inside was larger and longer than I was expecting, and everything is gold. Compared to the Grand Palace, this temple felt more relaxed. People in the area prayed and tourists whispered. It made me think of Sri Lankan temples, where faith and life mingle perfectly. Thai massage is another specialty of Wat Pho. I paid $12 for a 1-hour massage, which was at first uncomfortable. Then it's fantastic. I got used to using the BTS and taxis. I took the BTS Sky Train or taxis when walking was too much. Taxis were cheap, and most trips often cost between $3 and $6. The BTS was clean and fast. The cost of a single ride was approximately $1.50. Moving around Bangkok felt simple in comparison to places like Los Angeles. The city managed to find ways around the heavy traffic. I decided to go to Chinatown one night. I took a taxi to Chinatown one evening for only $5. This place awoke at night with neon signs, hot grills, and crowds continuing to grow. Much like Hong Kong but noisier. Jim Thompson House. I went to the Jim Thompson House on a quiet morning. With a guide, admission was $6. The house feels concealed even though it is close to the city center. It is calm, green, and wooden. After saving Thai silk, Jim Thompson eventually vanished. The story had an unusual and sad feel. I was reminded of old houses I had seen in Malaysia. They are open, airy, and designed to breathe. The markets and daily life. I went to the Chatuchak weekend market. It is huge, endless, and quite overwhelming. You will spend money, but admission is free. I bought cold drinks, gifts, and snacks. A total of about $15. I had never seen a market as large as this one. Larger than Istanbul's markets, more open than Moroccan ones. I paid $30 for a half-day guided tour of floating markets. It included a guide and transport. In the boats were mainly fruit sellers. It was enjoyable despite feeling touristy. Every day I found that food took center stage in my life. Delicious Thai food. $2 for a pad Thai, $3 for a green curry, sticky rice and fresh mango for $2. $2 for noodles or $5 for grilled fish. I watched local cooks working fast. There is no waste and they don't rush. It is a job they do effortlessly. I went on some nearby trips from Bangkok because what's nearby is one of Bangkok's best features. Ayutthaya is around 80 kilometers to the north. Just $1.50 by train, it was a 2-hour trip. Ancient sites. Temples that are decaying with trees that are growing through the stone. It was quieter than Angkor Wat. For $5, I rented a bike and went exploring by myself. The Damnon Saduak floating market is located roughly 100 kilometers to the west. I paid $35 to go on a guided tour. Transportation and a boat cruise were included. It was busy, colorful but touristy, but it's worth seeing once. In the evenings and serene times, I frequently went for walks by the river at night. The Chao Phraya traveled widely and slowly. I paid $2 for a riverboat ride. It was a respite from the streets. Bangkok slows down, but it never completely sleeps. On leaving Bangkok, these were my final thoughts. I was relaxed here after 14 days. Not bored, not tired out, just settled in. Bangkok is friendly but noisy. Human, yet busy. It brought back a lot of thoughts for me, of other places I have been. It's similar, but different. Bangkok is not a quiet city, but it has quiet moments if you look for them. 14 days gave me a glimpse, not the full picture. And that's okay. Some places are meant to stay a little unknown. If you are thinking about visiting Bangkok, or even traveling alone for the first time, I hope this episode helped you see what's possible. You don't need a plan for every day. You just need good shoes and an open mind. Thanks for walking Bangkok with me. Until the next journey.